Today in the crypto space, we see the market still showing a bit of weakness after a nice little pump. Bitcoin down below the $97,000 mark once again, and Ethereum right around 2,700. The rest of the crypto space is confused. Guys, are we moving up? Are we moving down? Guys, just be patient. Show a bit of patience in this market because eventually we will see a decision. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about an OG in this space, and that project is called Chainlink. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's begin by looking at the overall market first. Then we'll take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator to give us an indication of whether we should see, some strength in this market. If Chainlink is a good opportunity at this current moment, because we know that if Bitcoin is volatile, Bitcoin dips and it keeps on showing weakness, at the end of the day, Chainlink is also going to come down. So it's a great leading indicator. As we can see, the overall market cap is still kind of going sideways right here, which is okay because it's nice and steady. Trading volume is also nice and steady. I'm curious to see what's going to happen here with the trading volume if we get a spike in volume. But spike in volume doesn't mean a price to the upside. And spike in volume just means market participation. Ultimately, if there's sell pressure, we'll see the market cap fall. If there's buy pressure, we'll move to the upside. So at this current moment, we're very, very hesitant. We see that the market is still looking for some confirmation. To be honest, now is the time to be super neutral, and obviously expecting continuation to the downside means that the trend is your friend. Is the trend going to continue to be our friend? We know in the lower time frames a lot of these altcoins are bleeding out and the trend hasn't been really friendly. However, we know that if we're making lower lows and lower highs, the trend is downwards, and we have to prepare for that. Bitcoin, however, on the lower time frames here, looking at this 1 hour at these 1 hour fractals, we do see that Bitcoin at least is going sideways right now, right around 96. Earlier on today, we did see some signs of strength where Bitcoin was looking for a breakout. We were seeing Ethereum show strength as Ethereum was also looking pretty good, and the rest of the space, the altcoins, were all looking pretty healthy. We were pushing to the upside, and then all of a sudden, smackdown. We saw it, reject and come back to lower levels. And you can see that some of them are still in the green, very little, 2%, give or take. And if you're looking at some micro caps, I can imagine that there are some that are doing good. But overall, we are seeing some projects take a beating. We see Monero down 12.5%. And as we keep on going down, you see a few others, 4.5% here and there for BitTensor, Tau coming down a little bit lower. And the sell-off continues. As you can see, even Jupe is coming down 5% and 4% for Arbitrum. And if you're into the L2s, we should see a bit of a dip based on the fact that Ethereum is also showing weakness. Radium coming down a little bit more. We have a few others like Flare doing pretty good. That's a pump of 20%, guys. Pretty good. That's an anomaly. That's a random. If you're in a trade here, be careful. Please take profit because as you can see, the rest of the market is not really in consensus with this 20% dump. So when you see a random project fly like that, be prepared that it could come back down with the rest of the market and meet up again. So you could see that generally speaking, today was a very confusing day, very emotional day. Once again, it is exhausting, guys. I can imagine, I do know how exhausting this market could be. And obviously this is like many other opportunities, many other scenarios that we've had in this space, to see a lot of emotions, a lot of exhaustion. We are exhausted, the market looks exhausted, and this is usually when things really pick up. You never know, guys. Don't get caught off guard. Be prepared because things could really start waking up now. People are capitulating, believe it or not. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin, because ultimately, Bitcoin at the current zone is still going sideways. There's nothing wrong with Bitcoin here on the daily, but on the daily time frame, we still have some candles that we got to deal with. And the candle earlier on today was not the best, in the sense that it was looking good. This candle right here, I'm going to zoom in a sec, but you can see how it got rejected, wicked to the top, and now is coming back into the structure and basically coming down potentially for another lower low. What's going on? You know, did Trump say something? Is Trump putting more tariffs out there? I think there was a bit of news that Trump is putting potentially some tariffs on Japan, and we know Japan has a big influence on the economy, on the world economy stage. Obviously, we know that. So is that going to cause a little bit of issue? And we can see that the markets are reacting. We saw even the Nasdaq fall, and the traditional markets were falling a little bit. And as we can see, we're also seeing Bitcoin getting into the negative on the daily, which is not a good look. Altcoins are dipping, and this is the way the market has been. Now, speaking of Trump, it could be the case that we're all waiting. We're all waiting for Trump to stop, right? To stop with the announcements, with the executive orders. Now, we love this, the executive orders. We like what he's doing. He's cleaning up shop. I get it. He's working on the economy. He's putting in his strategy. We know that ultimately he's pro crypto and bullish Bitcoin. This is what we want. We wanted to see this. Well, we got it. But at the end of the day, we're also getting volatility alongside. So maybe a lot of individuals are waiting for a lot of these news events to stop, because then we can kind of resume a very predictable marketplace. Right now, it's not predictable. At any moment, we can see we hear an announcement from Trump, and then we get some volatility up or down. And most of them have been to the downside lately. So this is a big issue here, guys, because traditionally, based on risk to reward and risk management, we don't want uncertainty. We don't want to wait to see what happens next. We want to have some degree of certainty that we know what's going to be happening next, right? And if the trend is your friend, ultimately, we have a degree of certainty. Right now, the trend is your friend, to the point that it's not so friendly. As I mentioned, it looks like it's coming down for another lower low, unfortunately, guys. So let's quickly take some of these oscillators out. You can see that I've been worried about Bitcoin momentum hitting oversold conditions. It is still, testing these bottoms. It's still kind of in the chop zone. We do see a bit of a downtrend right into here, but if you look at the yellow line, it's still in a downtrend also. Do we get oversold, guys? Do we get the purple line in oversold conditions? EMAs are facing down, red histogram bars, not a good look. And ultimately, we could be coming down for the most bearish target, which is at about 77 to about 70K. Worst case scenario, hunting this liquidity. We still have to entertain that possibility. Now, I'm letting you know this. At this moment, if you're going to prepare for a bearish scenario, this is the scenario that you should be preparing for. You should be preparing by basically, raising capital, having a portfolio of dry powder, have a minimum 10% in cash ready to deploy if we do get opportunities at these levels. And then you have to also have a watch list, a buy list of projects that you're interested in, because this could be the last shakeout. Again, last shakeout times 10. We've been talking about last shakeouts over and over. The last one that we really had, that was the first time I said last shakeout, and I felt like it was because of all the liquidation. But is it possible that we get another one, a bigger one, guys, a massive one? We don't know. As long as Bitcoin is above 92, guys, we're still okay. Still okay. We bounce off of this level many times, and here on the 4-hour you can see how it was respected many times. And if you look at the momentum, we got oversold already. Now, do we get overbought on this time frame and get maybe the altcoins running up a little bit for some relief? We can see that this expansion is still coming in hot. I get it, but we could get a reversal here. I can tell by the volatility that this market is indecisive. It's very indecisive, given that the momentum is in the chop zone right into here. So the indecision right now is causing a very volatile market, guys. Be careful. If you get into trades, the only thing that I can say, especially with leverage, is as soon as you're in profit, put your stop loss into profit, or at least break even. Make it a risk-free trade. Those are the best trades, okay? Because you can always get back in. And if you miss out, who cares? Ultimately, risk-free is right now. Be a ninja. Get in, get out, be risk-free, do your thing. Because ultimately, you can see that the trend is still you know, not our friend in the sense that it's coming down. Unfortunately, our bags are taking beatings. All right, guys. So that's Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin keeps on coming down, what's going to happen to the altcoin market? Now, I'm going to get into Chainlink. Let's see what's going on with Chainlink. Chainlink is obviously getting affected as well, and so are the other altcoins. It's not exclusive to Chainlink. Okay, so let's get on to the daily. Bitcoin rolling over is going to put more pressure on the total market cap, and of course, Chainlink being part of the crypto space is also going to take a hit. What I like right here, I'm going to just highlight the important things, is that we're touching the 200 daily. Do we get a bounce off of it? Do we respect it? We disrespected it for this wick. It did overreact with this wick. I get it. But the reality is, could we actually show some respect for it? And if we do, we can get a nice bounce. Great. But we don't see any market structure suggesting that right now, especially right here on the daily. We are still pushing down. Now, what I'm worried about is this empty volume gap right here, because this is a weak spot. If you exclude previous price action, you can see right here at this level, at this top right here, we have some support with a good amount of volume based on this order block right here. And then if we do not hold this current zone, which could cause a few people to get emotional at this level, I would love a bit more clarity, but I think it's this order block right here that's kind of giving us that opportunity to see a bit of capitulation. But the reality is, I think this wick got a lot of people wrecked already from this order block. So what we're worried about is falling right through, filling this wick, coming through this volume gap because it is a weak spot, and then coming to look for support right around $15. Now, if that's the case, we're very dependent on this and this volume, because if we do not hold support there, guys, we're going to be hunting liquidity. Okay, the bears are going to come down and, you know, basically look for liquidity wherever it can be grabbed. And the reality is that we have levels, right? And if I introduce more price action, it will give us a little bit of an idea of where big picture emotions could be. And the most emotional level right here on this chart is right into this level right here, right between 16 to as low as about 13. That would be the zone that needs to be protected. Can you imagine of basically hunting the rest of this and dropping to this level, which is 13, and at worst case scenario, even further, hunting this liquidity right here and coming down even further, all the way down to $8, back to the bear market bottom where we were going sideways for like 500 days? Can you imagine getting all these people liquidated and wrecked? Guys, I can't, because the reality is, now that we're on this phase, look at the higher highs and higher lows. Okay, that's what I got to say here first. We got a nice flush, fine, the same way we got flushes in the past. Maybe we got a dead cat bounce, we got a flush, dead cat bounce, another flush, and you can see these happen, right? Now, the question is, when does the support come in? When do we finally hold up here to see Chainlink finally hold the bottom? Could it be right here based on this support? Could this be the support that we're looking for? Well, guess what? We need some evidence. We need some market structure, because right now there is none. We see it literally dripping down on the daily without any support. So again, oscillators, EMAs are facing down, red histogram bars to the downside, not a good look. Look at this blue expansion, fully bearish at the current moment in the bearish control zone. And right here on the momentum oscillator, expansion coming in hot, volatility is oversold, momentum is definitely in a downtrend, guys. It doesn't look good. I can't be bullish right here right now on these time frames. On the daily, I am bullish big picture, because again, we're going to zoom out in a second, but on these time frames, not on the daily, still looks like the daily's in control. The 4 hour is also a bit bearish, because we're not getting any market structure shifting happening here or a pivot point, but a V recovery and a round and bottom would change things. Okay, so that's the last line in the sand right now for this current scenario, is that we actually round off here and make a rounded bottom. Is it possible, guys? Look at the indecision in the oscillators. Flat line pretty much, not really clear as to which direction we're going. It's not like we have a trend or anything like that. Smaller expansion than this one, okay, that could be a sign of divergence, right? But not really, because this expansion, this was a lower low than this one. So not really a good look, guys. And then with volatility still pushing down, and momentum looks a little choppy and indecisive. Do we come down and get oversold again? This is the concern. A lot of us are concerned about this, that the market is giving us a lot of little V recoveries on that bounce that we had a couple days ago. But to follow through on some confirmations, it's not really happening for a lot of them. A given Chainlink is almost filling up this wick on the daily. We're over halfway through. However, this is the time to pay attention. If we get a shift right here where we get a bullish divergence and a change of character, where we start making higher highs and higher lows, it's starting to look interesting. If you track what's happening here, we're making lower lows and lower highs. Momentum is going sideways. That's a class C bullish divergence, which is good. However, it's not as strong as a a class A, and what we really need is a change of character in this price action, the sense where we make a higher high and a higher low, and then we start moving to the upside. Right now, it's not really giving that, so we need a shoulder, a neckline, and we need to start pivoting. We need to start moving, but we're not getting any of that. We're still dripping down lower lows and lower highs with a class C bullish divergence, which is not the strongest. Okay, so that's the difficult part here on the 4-hour, on the daily. Everything right now about Chainlink is suggesting that, you know, we are still going to come down. Now, I want to go into the 4-day a bit because we can really take a big picture look here. And we got to analyze this as a trend scenario, because the trend also on a big picture time frame like the 4-day is still bullish, guys. We are not making a low lower than this low. Let's get rid of this. Okay, just while we're here, let's look at the momentum. Momentum is still in the downtrend. Volatility is already oversold. Do we get a pop to the upside to get a bit of relief? That would be ideal. That would be super ideal. Okay, and it might turn out to be something like this. Okay, and then invalidation, and then we might get some short squeezes. You never know. Maybe bull market on, altcoin season on. But at this current moment, EMAs and red histogram bars are facing down like this. It looks bad. It doesn't look good even on the 4-day. We need some really pivotal moments right here into this chart to actually start to look bullish. On the daily, on the 4-hour, like I'm mentioning, there's a lot that needs to happen still. Now, I'm patient. I'm expecting eventually to get a nice 4-hour structure on the a nice pivot point structure on the 4-hour. But in the meantime, we got to understand that the big picture is still bullish. So let's continue here on the 4-day. The 4-day, why I'm saying that still look bullish is because if you start, you know, putting in trend lines, you know, we did make a higher high here. And if you start looking at what happened from here to here, we're still making higher lows here. Yes, it's a broadening wedge. Yes, we could still come down and hunt this liquidity, like I mentioned, still respect the trend, which you guys know I'm not a trend trader. I don't trade trend lines. I trade horizontals. And if we can come down to $13 and gain some support, guys, that would be the optimal zone to be going in heavy. For me, that's what I would be looking for. I'm going to clean up this, get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm also, as I'm here, you know what, let's just keep that there. But as you can see, guys, like if we came down here, this is the last line in the sand. These bottoms and this liquidity, do we hunt this as well? Do we come down here, make another bottom, and then push to the upside one more time? Or are we going to make a higher low? Let's use Fibonacci for here for a second. Swing low to swing high. And we look at golden pocket. We did get to the golden pocket. Do we come down to the golden pocket once again? Or maybe even as low as the 786. This is the zone to watch out for. Unless you are walking into a fresh new portfolio right now and you're coming into the market and looking for a buy opportunity, I'll let you know this. Chainlink is on a fire sale right now. Okay, it's on a pretty good dip. You're buying a discount of approximately, from the top to where we are right now, you're approximately 40% discount. But I still wouldn't go all in. The most I would deploy at this current zone is 20%. That's the most. Why? Because you're not getting a market structure suggesting that we're ready to hold support. So wait until that happens. And then once you see a structure, that's when you start DCAing more aggressively. Because then obviously you don't want to try to catch a bottom, but then again, you want to, you know, average in towards indications of a bottom. And that way you know where to put the stop loss right underneath invalidation, right underneath a nice pivot point structure to protect yourself just in case. So right now, what we're hoping for is another higher low so we can bounce and go for another higher high. Guys, you know, Chainlink is obviously an indicator in itself. It's highly integrated throughout the crypto space, you know, all the EVMs and all of that, you know, as an oracle. And ultimately, if Chainlink does well, that means the rest of the market is pretty much doing well, unless, you know, we're starting to diversify, you know, the oracle narrative amongst many others, right, guys? So not bad. It looks okay. I know the market is bleeding out. Guys, if you want to join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST to talk about crypto news and price action, it is a great time and place to make requests on any projects that you're interested in, such as Chainlink or any other oracle or any other project. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.